Greetings, brothers and sisters. What is up? Welcome back to yet another one from us. We are coming to you with news from Mali. The Malian foreign minister has just complained about the UN double standards. He says UN ignores a yes complaint against Ukraine, which was accused of supporting terrorism in the Sahel.
Est-ce qu'il existe une communauté internationale? Est-ce que c'est une communauté? Est-ce qu'elle est vraiment internationale? Parce que le Mali, le Burkina, le Niger ont porté une plainte exactement très claire et très simple devant le Conseil de sécurité que l'Ukraine, membre des Nations Unies, qui a des obligations, a déclaré ouvertement via ses officiels des services de renseignement, mais aussi des diplomates, qu'elle soutient activement en renseignement et en moyens logistiques des groupes terroristes dans le nord du Mali, ce qui est totalement inacceptable. À ce jour, le Conseil de sécurité n'a même pas accusé réception de ce que nous avons déposé. Nous savons que la Russie soutient notre démarche, mais on n'a entendu personne. Donc, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Je pense que je vous renvoie à la question. Est-ce que la communauté dite internationale travaille pour la paix et la stabilité? Ou bien c'est la politique de deux poids, deux mesures? Quand un allié, un ami est mis en cause, je pense qu'on préfère regarder ailleurs. Nos populations sont très déçues et nous pensons que plus que jamais, nos pays doivent prendre en main la destinée de nos pays et faire ce qui est nécessaire pour assurer notre sécurité. Parce que nous sommes convaincus que ces moyens qui sont utilisés par les groupes terroristes ou par d'autres visent des objectifs politiques. C'est absolument clair. Mais ce n'est pas à moi de répondre à la place de cette communauté internationale que vous avez mentionnée.
The UN has not even acknowledged receiving the complaint. The complaint lodged by the AES against Ukraine, the Malian foreign minister said. The countries of the Alliance of Sahel states have lodged a very clear and very simple complaint before the UN Security Council that Ukraine, a UN member state, is openly supporting terrorist groups in the region. We know that Russia supports our approach. We haven't heard from anyone. So what does this mean? I think I'll ask you again, is the so-called international community working for peace and stability, or is it a policy of double standards? The minister questioned. Job stressed in an exclusive interview that the AES countries must take their destiny into their own hands and do what is necessary to ensure their security.
Guys, let me tell you the genesis of this. At some point, I think it was some August 25th or 26th, Mali was attacked in a small town of Tinzawatene, which is at the border, eastern border of Mali and Algeria. And we have these two countries. We have Mali and Algeria, and they keep complaining and calling out for Algeria because they say Algeria supports terrorism in Mali. And Tinzawatene being that border town of Mali and Algeria, it was said that, or alleged that, these terrorists were hiding here and Mali fell on them proper. But now the problem is we saw some Russian forces, I think 2 or so, being killed in this war because there were too many guys from Algeria, and it came to happen that one of in this group was being supported by a guy from Ukraine, a terrorist from Ukraine. And we even saw Ukraine in Senegal even trying to dirty Senegal by celebrating Algeria, or celebrating what was happening in Mali and Algeria. In Mali and Algeria.
Like the destruction.
Yeah. And we saw the ambassador being called out by the Senegalese government, and you know what happened. And this was after the activists called on the Senegalese government to take charge. So when these guys went to the UNGA this year, they complained about Ukraine supporting terrorism in the Sahel, in Mali. But as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who even doubles as the Prime Minister, Job, is saying UN has not spoken. But guys, do you think UN will ever be for Africa? No. UN only works for US and the other countries. We know that. We don't wait for anybody to tell us.
And this is a time where the words of Mama Arikana Chombo have to keep laying in the heads of our African leaders, don't go to the UN. It is not about you.
It's not about
And she has always emphasized that the UN is never there to serve African interests. The other day we saw them wanting to add, I've forgotten which countries, into the UN Security Council, of which they were not given the power. They were not given.
It's Sierra Leone. I think Sierra Leone is the one that is now like having a representative.
But with no veto power, it's just, you know, you are just at the table just for Africa to shut up, you know, just for Africa to stop complaining that we are not even on the table. I remember even Mama Naledi Pandor from South Africa complaining that Africa has a big role to play when it comes to matters security globally. Why is it that we don't have a voice in the table? And why is it that Africa is not given the power to make such decisions globally? And these are the kind of questions that Africa should continue asking themselves. Do we really need the UN?
So, if there's something that I keep on repeating, if you do not respect yourself, you will not get any respect from out there. And that's what our African leaders don't understand. You go there, you know, begging. They call you a beggar, you know. But they come and steal your minerals and they call you stupid.
They call you poor.
No, they call you poor, but when they come to take away your mineral resources, raw materials, they call you stupid. You cannot even, you know, manage your resources. We have to come and take the rocks and process them and give back to you and show you how it's done. That's what happens. If we cannot come together as an African group, like African Union, which is not ours as per se, if we cannot have our own independent African Union, which we contribute, because African Union gets over 70% funding from the EU and the rest from the you know, UN also. If we cannot fund it with our own money, then control it, end our wars, what are we? They are only looking as we wait for the US, the Russia to come and end wars in Sudan, or end war in Ethiopia when there was the Tigray, you know, Ethiopia war, or what is happening in Mozambique or Congo. As in, you will not even hear African Union meetings saying we are talking about Congo, and by next week we want to silence those guns. It's just a theme that they put. But because it's benefiting their masters, the war has to go on. Our people have to die. So guys, until we respect ourselves.
Remember when the UN was chased out from Congo? Because the people were like, 10 years, you have been on the ground, what have you been doing for?
And has AU done anything? Nothing. So until we respect ourselves, until we do it ourselves, we do our things, we'll never be respected. I don't think we need to have the veto powers or to be in the UN. What we need is all African countries to go out and come together as an African nation, something, you know, United African Nations, and have our own group of, you know, United African Nations to control our things, to end our wars. If there's a turmoil like it's happening in Mozambique, we go there and we end it. We quell terrorists and all that. We make sure we are fighting for Africa.
Brothers and sisters, let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. The UN, what is this that Africa has to do regarding to UN-Africa relations? Do we really need to stay in such a body that we have over time seen that it's not beneficial to us as the African people? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you love to support us, we have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box down below. We also have hair hats. Information is on the screen and in the description box down below. You can also support us by giving us super thanks, super chats. We appreciate all your support. Also like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.